Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Father Cincinnati's channel. Today's video is quite unique as we're discussing the newly leaked information in regard to the C8 Grand Sport as speculated. Recently a video of a C8 mirror wrapped in camouflage was seen in public and recorded where its engine was heard in public. Unfortunately, after searching numerous platforms and across the internet, GM has since then requested its removal on the web. Usually we do not speak on such speculations as is often a hit or miss. However, through my research and by connecting this information back to Corvette's lineage, it suggests a strong, confident suggestion that an 8th generation Grand Sport Corvette is on the way. Before we get into the leaked information, I want to explain how the Grand Sport Corvette came to be so we can better understand why an 8th generation Grand Sport makes sense. In the 1950s and early 1960s, Corvette chief engineer and the father of Corvette, Zora Duntov, faced an intense competition from Carroll Shelby and Ford Motor Company. Its lightweight aluminum core was significantly faster than Corvette's at the time, making it difficult for Corvette to remain competitive in major races. Despite this, GM officially banned factory racing in 1963. Refusing to let Corvette fall behind, Chief Engineer Zora Duntov secretly developed 5 Corvette Grand Sports and arranged them to be raced by private teams. Between 1963 and 1964, these Grand Sports competed in the SCCA events and international races across the United States and the Bahamas, further proving that the Corvette could rival the world's best when given the right platform. Zora's Grand Sport competed in 1963 Nassau Speed Week in the Bahamas, which is shown in this video here. The Grand Sports later raced in the SCCA events in the United States in 1964. So that is how the Grand Sport came to be. Not as a marketing trim, but a defiant engineering statement built to preserve Corvette's racing spirit when it was nearly silenced. It is important to emphasize that although the C3 generation never offered a Grand Sport for customers, this was because the original Grand Sport was never intended for production sale. From the C4 through the C7, Chevy consistently honored the legacy by offering a Grand Sport model. While some may argue that the E-Ray replaces the Grand Sport, that argument falls short because Corvette has always valued a purist and highly engaging experience for its most loyal customers. Furthermore, the Grand Sport exists precisely to fulfill that role. Plus, with the C8 Grand Sport, GM opens a bigger market as we have C8 Stingray owners flocking to the Grand Sport, usually due to its fair price and close connection to the Z06 model. So let's talk about the leaked information on the C8 Grand Sport. I received my information from reputable sources such as Corvette Blogger, GM Authority, and other notable and Corvette-focused YouTubers. Please be aware that this information is public and can be found online. A video showed a C8 mule with a Z06 body but a Stingray-style exhaust placement. Although the video was taken down, I can provide a video that is close enough to represent the C8 6.7-liter V8 Grand Sport, which is speculated, which is comparable to a C5 Z06 that has an LS6 5.7-liter V8 engine. Here it is. Getting into more detail, an article published by Corvette Blogger shows an image of some codes on GM's parts page. This image also comes from the same individual who leaked the Z01. The image which showed leaked through a listing of future regular production option codes for the 27-year model, which shows an LS6 engine and its configuration. The code goes LS6, engine gas, 8-cylinder, 6.7 liter, direct injection, port fuel injection, overhead valves, aluminum, and Gen 6. Take this as how you will, as I will go further into the clarification in these codes. But Corvette Blogger states that with the help of mid-engine Corvette forum, they confirmed that this information with a person close to GM, who verified that it is indeed an LS6 6.7-liter V8 engine. So the speculated C8 Grand Sport may have a naturally aspirated LS6 6.7-liter V8 with direct and port fuel injection, an aluminum engine block, and overhead valves. I want to mention that the C8, or generally speaking, the Grand Sport is a sweet spot between a C8 Stingray and the Z06. So for my opinion, you have the reliability of a base model engine, kind of, and you have the style and handling such as a Z06. As you've noticed in the C7 models, the C7 Grand Sport has the body work of a Z06, but the kind of an engine like the C7. Furthermore, the Grand Sport may have an LS6 naturally aspirated 6.7-liter V8, right? It may also have a displacement of 409 cubic inches and is speculated to produce around 525 to 550 horsepower. Furthermore, GM has invested around $579 million in its Flint engine operations to build its 6th generation V8 small block. The Corvette community seems to be speculating that the C8 Grand Sport starting price will be around $85,000 to $90,000. While this seems very reasonable, we believe that the true starting price will be closer to $100,000 or at least in the $90,000s. Speculation is not always reliable. Before the Z06 was announced, many revenue sources predicted that it would be around $90,000. In reality, the C806 starts around $120,000, not the low $90,000 many expected. The E-Ray currently starts around $108,000. So if the Grand Sport model is priced too close to the E-Ray, buyers will face a difficult choice between the two, which could cause confusion for customers and negatively impact GM sales. To succeed, the Grand Sport must be positioned at the perfect price point high enough to reflect its performance and exclusively but clearly distinguished from other models so it stands out from the obvious and most desirable choice for Corvette enthusiasts seeking a pure, engaging, performance-focused driving experience. About the speculation of the C8 Grand Sport, I want to highlight a few key points many Corvette enthusiasts want a manual transmission in the Grand Sport. But as it is considered a purist Corvette model. However, here's why I don't believe there will be one offered in the C8 generation or even the Grand Sport itself. First, it does not appear that GM has any plans to produce a manual transmission in the C8, as they have said that manual transmission market is shrinking. Numerous manufacturers have also phased out manual transmissions for this reason, with companies like Hyundai openly calling manuals obsolete. My second point is more practical consideration. The center console that separates the driver and passenger, beneath this console lies a structural tunnel that reinforces the chassis for rigidity and prevents the Corvette from twisting, or in other words, torsional flex. From the ground up, Corvette engineers designed the platform with convertible option in mind. They developed the backbone frame using hydroformed rails and extensive bracing to create rigid chassis that resist torsional flex, ensuring structure, integrity, and performance without a fixed roof. Installing a gear shifter here would be awkward, as it sits too high for comfortable shifting. While some YouTubers have successfully installed a manual in a C8, they had to strip out the interior down to bare metal and remove the center console entirely. From GM's perspective, this presents significant engineering and cost challenges. From a technical standpoint, the C8's dual clutch transmission is more efficient than a manual. The C8 has been engineered for exceptional track performance, with Corvette sending test mules to the Nürburgring to fine-tune lap times and overall handling. Thus, the C8 generation is track-oriented. Integrating a manual into the C8 would require complex and electronic integration, as the C8 relies heavily on electronic controls for many of its features. While Tremec, the developer of Corvette transmissions, has created a manual that physically fits into the C8, it is clear that GM is unlikely to offer it in production. The cost and complexity of redesigning the interior would be too high, making Tremec's new manual ideal only for aftermarket applications. Looking at the C8 Grand Sport renderings, the front or hood styro appears to be similar to the C801 heat extractors with the radiator, right? However, this feature will most certainly not appear on the C8 Grand Sport, as it would be overkill for a small block LS6 6.7 liter V8 engine. Heat extractor hoods are likely reserved for high performance models such as the 01 and 01X. Even the C806 did not feature a front heat extractor. Finally, the C8 Grand Sport is expected to have a wide body of a C806, front and rear 06 bumpers, and a Stingray style exhaust placement. While this is speculative, I believe the Grand Sport may also feature carbon flash exterior accents. Here is why. The C806 has carbon flash accents, while the E-Ray shares a 06 wide body but has body color accents. Since the E-Ray already shares a 06 body, it makes sense for the Grand Sport to include carbon flash accents to differentiate it from E-Ray directly from the factory. When you step back and look at everything together, the history of the Grand Sport, the leaked MU details, the LS6 engine codes, GM's recent investments, and the way Corvette has consistently positioned its lineup, the picture becomes much clearer. The C8 Grand Sport would not be a random addition or marketing gimmick, but a continuation of legacy that began with Zora Arquez Duntop's determination to keep Corvettes competitive at the highest level. Every generation that offered a Grand Sport has served the perfect bridge between the base Stingray and the extreme 06 or 01. The C8 lineup is missing that exact piece. All signs point toward Chevy filling that gap with a performance-focused, naturally aspirated, wide-body Grand Sport that stays true to Corvette's purest roots while fitting cleanly into GM's modern engineering and business strategy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this breakdown and want more Corvette news, history, and analysis, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like this video, share to your friends, family, and other car enthusiasts. Comment down below what your thoughts are on the C8 Grand Sport. We would love to hear what you think. Furthermore, if you have any video suggestions or want to see something new on this channel, don't be afraid to comment it down below. I love reading your guys' comments and compliments on our channel, as it truly motivates me and my father to create more videos, as we are passionate to provide honest reviews, honest commentary, and honest analytics on Corvette topics. As you can see, we have our nice 2023 C8 hardtop convertible Z51 Corvette. So, again, as Corvette owners, we would love to be in the Corvette community. We would love to provide with excellent details and excellent information. Thank you.